Welcome back to The Elderly Health Physician, where we bring you the wisdom of Korean medicine combined with the best of modern science to help you thrive after 60. I am John, and if you have ever caught yourself leaning forward when you walk, grabbing the kitchen counter just to stand up straight, or waking up every single morning with that deep, stubborn ache in your lower back that never seems to fully go away no matter what you try, then today is the episode you have been waiting for. I want you to really stay with us on this one, because what we are about to cover is not a complicated routine. It is not a gym exercise. It is not physical therapy that costs hundreds of dollars a month and requires you to drive across town 3 times a week. It is a single, 30-second movement you can do against any wall in your home, and it targets the exact muscles that are responsible for keeping your spine upright, your shoulders back, and your lower back free of pain. I have watched people half my age struggle with this kind of discomfort, and I have personally seen seniors in their 80s reclaim their posture and walk taller than they have in years with what Dr. Henry Lee is about to teach us today. And if you think that sounds too good to be true, I completely understand that skepticism. I felt the same way until I saw the science behind it and the real patients whose lives changed because of it. Joining me again is Korea's oldest practicing physician, Dr. Henry Lee. He has spent over 40 years treating seniors and studying the ancient principles of Korean medicine that have kept generations living strong and standing tall well into their later years. Doctor, welcome back.
Thank you, John. I am glad to be here because this topic is something I have been passionate about for decades. Back pain after 60 is not just common, it is an epidemic. A systematic review published in the journal Clinics evaluated over 135,000 adults over 60 and found that the prevalence of low back pain in that population ranged from 21% to 75%, depending on the region studied. That means in some communities, 3 out of every 4 seniors are living with back pain right now. And what concerns me the most is that the vast majority of those people believe it is simply a normal part of getting older. They accept it. They take painkillers. They stop moving. And that is exactly when things get worse because inactivity accelerates the very muscle loss that is causing the pain in the first place. Let me explain what is actually happening inside the body. Your spine is held upright by a group of deep muscles that run along both sides of your vertebral column. The 2 most important ones are the erector spinae and the multifidus. Think of them as the pillars of a building. When those pillars are strong, the building stands tall and steady. When they weaken, the structure begins to lean, to compress, to collapse inward. After 60, something very specific happens to these muscles. They begin to atrophy. They lose both strength and endurance. A study published in the European Spine Journal examined over 1,100 adults and found that spinal malalignment affects about 40% of adults in their 60s, 54% in their 70s, and nearly 70% of adults over 80. That forward lean is not caused by your bones. It is caused by the weakening of these deep spinal muscles that no longer have the endurance to hold you upright throughout the day. And here's the part that most people miss entirely. When those muscles weaken, your body compensates. Your pelvis tilts forward. Your hips rotate. Your lower back absorbs pressure it was never designed to handle on its own. That is where the pain comes from. It is not a disc problem in most cases. It is a muscle endurance problem. And the beautiful thing about muscle endurance is that it can be rebuilt at any age. Even in your 70s and 80s, the muscle tissue is still there. It has not vanished. It has simply gone dormant. And in just a moment, I am going to show you exactly how to wake those muscles up with nothing but a flat wall in 30 seconds of your time.
You know, Doctor, conversations like this one make me think about something I came across a while back. It is called the Senior Body Reset After 60. I have to be honest, when I first found it, I was not expecting much, but it completely changed how I think about aging. It covers exactly what we talk about on this show: how to reset your body's natural rhythms after 60. Better sleep, stronger circulation, sharper memory, more energy throughout the day. And it does all of that through daily habits, not medications. No complicated routines. Just clear, practical steps backed by the same kind of medical thinking we explore in every episode. If you are someone who wants to take what you hear here and actually put it into action, this is a resource worth looking into. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. Now, Doctor, please continue.
Absolutely, John. So let me start with a patient who changed the way I approach back pain in seniors. Gerald was a 71-year-old retired postal worker. He came to me hunched forward using a cane, completely convinced he needed surgery. His previous doctor had told him he had degenerative disc disease and that there was nothing to do but manage the pain with medication. When I examined him, yes, his discs showed some wear on the imaging, but the real problem was that his erector spinae and multifidus had atrophied significantly on both sides. Those muscles had simply stopped doing their job because no one had asked them to work in years. I put him on a simple daily wall exercise protocol. No equipment, no gym, just his body and a flat wall in his living room. Within 8 weeks, Gerald was standing straighter than he had in years. Within 12 weeks, the cane was gone completely. He told me it felt like someone had given him back 10 years of his life. Now let me explain the wall press itself, because I want you to understand not just what to do, but exactly why it works. You stand with your back against a flat wall. Your heels should be about 4 inches from the base of the wall. Your buttocks, your upper back, and the back of your head should all be touching the wall at the same time. Now here is the key. You gently press your lower back toward the wall, not forcing it flat, not straining, just engaging with intention. You will feel a subtle but unmistakable activation deep in your core and along both sides of your spine. That activation is your multifidus waking up. That is your erector spinae re-engaging after being dormant. You hold that gentle press for 30 seconds. Then you rest for 10 seconds, and you repeat it 3 times. That is it. Less than 2 minutes total. But those 2 minutes are doing something remarkable inside your body that no painkiller can replicate. A study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation found that isometric exercises targeting the spinal extensors, which is exactly what this wall press does, significantly improved both muscle endurance and pain levels in adults with chronic low back pain. The researchers specifically noted that wall-based approaches were particularly effective for older adults because they provide external support through the wall itself, they reduce the risk of falling during the exercise, and they allow the person to control the intensity completely without any external load. You are not lifting anything. You are not bending forward or backward. You are simply pressing your spine into its natural alignment and holding it there while your muscles do the work. I tell my patients to do this first thing in the morning without exception. Before breakfast, before coffee, before anything else. Because here is what happens while you sleep. You spend 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours lying down. Your spinal muscles essentially shut off during that entire time. They are not working to hold you upright because you are horizontal. So when you finally stand up in the morning, those muscles are cold. They are stiff. They are sluggish and slow to activate. That is precisely why so many seniors feel their absolute worst back pain in the first hour after waking up. The wall press reactivates those muscles immediately. It is like turning the ignition on a car that has been sitting in the cold overnight. You are warming up the engine before you ask it to drive. I had another patient, a 64-year-old retired teacher named Dorothy. She had a constant dull ache across her lower back that got worse every afternoon. By evening, she could barely stand long enough to prepare dinner. Her posture had deteriorated over 5 years into what we call increased thoracic kyphosis, a progressive rounding of the upper back that pushes the head forward and compresses the lumbar spine. I taught her the wall press twice a day, morning and noon. Within 6 weeks, Dorothy told me something that surprised even her. It was not just the pain that improved, it was her breathing. She could take deeper, fuller breaths. She felt less winded climbing stairs. And that makes perfect sense because when your upper back rounds forward chronically, it compresses your ribcage and limits how much your lungs can expand. By straightening the spine, you literally open the chest cavity and give your lungs room to work. Now I want to address something that most people never even think about, which is the direct connection between chronic back pain and your brain. When you are living in chronic pain day after day, your nervous system is under constant, unrelenting stress. Your body releases cortisol continuously. Your sleep quality drops because the pain interrupts your deep sleep cycles. Your ability to concentrate weakens over time. A study published in JAMA Neurology found that older adults with chronic low back pain showed measurable reductions in brain gray matter volume, particularly in regions associated with memory and emotional regulation. In other words, living with chronic back pain does not just affect your spine, it slowly changes the structure of your brain. And the longer you leave it untreated, the more those changes accumulate. That is exactly why simple daily interventions like the wall press matter so much. When you reduce the pain at its source by strengthening the muscles that support your spine, you are not just fixing your back, you are protecting your brain. You are improving your sleep. You are reducing the cortisol that damages your cardiovascular system. You are giving your lungs more room to breathe. In Korean medicine, we have an ancient saying, "The spine is the river. When the river flows straight, the entire body drinks from clean water. When the river bends, everything downstream suffers." Now let me give you a progression. Once you have been doing the basic wall press for 2 to 3 weeks and it feels comfortable, you can add what I call the wall angel. From the same starting position with your back against the wall, you raise both arms to shoulder height with your elbows bent at a 90-degree angle, like a goalpost shape. Your elbows and the backs of your hands should touch the wall. Then you slowly slide your arms up toward the ceiling, keeping everything in contact with the wall, and then bring them back down. This movement strengthens the rhomboids and middle trapezius, the muscles between your shoulder blades that pull your shoulders back and counteract that forward rounding posture. You do 5 repetitions, slowly, with complete control, and you will feel muscles activate between your shoulder blades that you may not have felt in years. I had a patient, a 69-year-old retired auto mechanic named Arthur. He had spent his entire career leaning over engines for 8 to 10 hours every day. By the time he reached me, his upper back was so rounded that he could not look straight ahead without tilting his chin up. He had constant neck tension and daily headaches. We started with the basic wall press for the first month, then added the wall angel. After 10 weeks, Arthur could stand with his head naturally aligned over his shoulders for the first time in over a decade. His headaches reduced by more than 80%. His wife told me he looked 5 years younger simply because he was standing tall again. The final point I want to make very clearly is this. Your posture after 60 is not permanently fixed. Your back pain is not an inevitable sentence. The muscles that hold you upright are still there. They have not disappeared. They have simply gone quiet because nobody has asked them to work in a very long time. The wall press wakes them up. The wall angel builds on that foundation. And together they create a daily practice that takes less than 3 minutes, but can transform the way you stand, the way you walk, the way you breathe, and the way you feel for the rest of your life.
That is extraordinary, Doctor. And I think what makes this so powerful is how beautifully simple it truly is. You do not need a gym membership. You do not need special equipment. You do not need a personal trainer standing next to you guiding every movement. You just need a wall and 30 seconds of quiet intention each morning. That is all it takes to begin turning things around. I know a lot of seniors watching right now have been told by well-meaning doctors that their back pain is just something they have to learn to live with. That slouching forward and losing your posture is simply what happens when you get older. And there is nothing anyone can do about it. But what Dr. Henry Lee has shown us today with real science and real patients whose lives were genuinely transformed is that your body has not given up on you. It is waiting. It is patiently waiting for you to ask it to stand tall again. And all it takes is pressing your back against a wall, holding it for 30 seconds, and doing that every single morning when you wake up. Start tomorrow morning, or better yet, start today if you can. That is how you begin to rebuild what time has quietly taken away. And remember, you can always add the wall angel after a few weeks when you feel ready, and those 3 minutes each morning will become the most important 3 minutes of your entire day. The wall, the press, the hold. That is your new morning routine. If this episode helped you today, or if it made you think of someone you love who deals with back pain and poor posture every single day, please share this video with them. Send it to a friend. Send it to a parent. Send it to your neighbor who has been complaining about their back for years. Sometimes the smallest change is the one that ends up changing absolutely everything. And as we always say here on The Elderly Health Physician, small changes, lasting results. Let us grow old strong together. Thank you for being here with us today. We will see you in the next one.